try again. Amanze at center, going up against Kaylin Nash, and we're underway here in Charlottesville. Kymora Johnson handing off already to Jillian Brown. Did not play last season, was injured. Getting the start here on day one. Johnson already picking up or drawing the foul. Gabrielle Johnson called on the other end as we look at that UVA starting five.
And you can already see what is happening here with the ball in Johnson's hands, right? She is drawing to Morgan State, is really aggressively attacking.
Manze gets under, and the first 2 points of 25-26. Amanze's on the board.
The transfer from Princeton, man, she has great size and ability to back down and score.
Morgan State starting five. Najee Hayes running the point. Gabrielle Johnson, Tiana James, Kaylin Nash, and then Sierra Hedquist getting the start in the middle. Right to left, nowhere to go for Nash, and a turnover.
Now, when you're going up against an opponent such as UVA, you have mid-major going up against Power 5 here, you have to limit mistakes as much as possible, and a turnover like that to start the game, not very ideal.
17-15 record last year for Virginia. Brown throws it inside, but there is a foul going against Morgan State. Hedquist will pick up her first.
So that's 2 early fouls for Morgan State, something to just watch out for here.
Virginia ball at the baseline. Johnson with it. There's Paris Clark getting a touch out of the Bronx, New York, and goes out of bounds, but last touched by the Bears. Virginia keeps it. As we will look to the Virginia bench. Maka Agugwa Hamilton goes by Coach Mox, 28-8 in non-conference battles, and won her first 14 when she got here to Virginia. Here's Hayes, 3. James hops and goes out of bounds. Virginia ball.
Well, that's a heads-up play by Hayes to kick the basketball up the floor. Yes, an early 3 in transition. However, it was nice and clear.
Charlottesville native Johnson running the point. Goes back and forth with Clark. Those are the 2 captains. From 3, first one for Kymora Johnson.
And UVA, they practice going up against the Morgan State zone in depth today at their shoot-around. And Coach Mock said, are we going to settle or are we going to look to get the great plays?
Levy, fast break 2. 7-0 Virginia, and a timeout taken.
Well, Levy was able to use her length to get into the passing lane.
To do that since 2001. Already a great resume and still building on it. Saying it's a foul going against Paris Clark. That's the first against her.
And Kymora, she's quite the star for UVA. Energizer Bunny, vocal leader, continues to up her game season by season, and I think that's the most impressive thing that we have seen out of her, her ability to continue to get better. And the first field goal that has been made by Morgan State.
Kaylin Nash goes underneath, and it floats above but falls. A press from Morgan State. Amanze. Brown back inside. Left gets the foul. She'll shoot 2. So Johnson steadily improving in her time with the Cavaliers. You're seeing 23-24. And then the next year, that 2 to almost 3-point jump, shooting better from the field and the 3 as well.
Yeah, and that just goes to the testament, right, of the player that you are. You put in the work. You know that you had an excellent freshman season, and oftentimes players go through a sophomore slump. Wasn't the case for her, and she continues to rise, and which is why she's on a national scale and level for these preseason predictions currently.
Especially when you think of how much pressure was on her from freshman to sophomore year, and lived up to every bit of it.
Absolutely.
And now that pressure only mounts here in year 3. A bucket for Morgan State last time up the floor. stolen away, Amanze. Now Johnson in transition, trying to spike it to Brown, gets through, underneath, no good. Rebound grabbed. Tiana James slows things up. Here's a triple. Johnson, no good. Offensive board, the putback not there.
And again, perfect early shots in transition by Morgan State. Doesn't get any better than that. And how about Paris Clark, able to go behind the back in transition, but couldn't get the finish.
She could have. We would have been running that highlight. The handles there from Paris Clark. Came from Arizona as we see our first substitutions coming in. There's Brianna Hurd from Waynesville, Missouri. Last season, just over 10 points per game. James from Virginia Beach, Virginia, stolen. Levy up, Johnson. Easy layup for two.
And again, just good hands getting into the passing lane. If you're Johnson, able to jump in there, come up for the steal, and an easy layup.
And Johnson already at 5 points. The Euro step doesn't go. Gabrielle Johnson, third team preseason All-MEAC. Here's the USF transfer. Romi Levy. Dishing underneath, Amanze. Can't get the layup. Offensive rebound. Levy out for Johnson. They'll reset.
And a smart job by Johnson to just get her team back into place after the offensive rebound.
Was looking for Amanze, but called a foul. We'll look back at Levy taking it away. Comes from South Florida, before that Auburn.
And you see how she just wasn't hugging her man in the corner, and good things happen when you do so. You're in the passing lanes, able to throw it up floor to her teammate, a running Johnson. And again, easy buckets in transition have been pivotal for this hot start for UVA.
Johnson rolls around and drops.
We call that the friendly home roll right there. When you're used to these rims and putting up buckets, sometimes that'll happen for you.
She loves the JPJ rims. Pull up. Bennerman doesn't get it. Levy, long strides through the middle, out Johnson in a travel.
Yeah, you got to be decisive there if you're Levy. You either hit a hesitation move and you continue to go, or just do your back dribble, crab dribble. You learned that when you're in grade school, and reset the offense.
These two teams have played 5 times before this. Virginia has won all 5. Last time was in 2022. Hayes.
Just bad spacing.
Nash has to chuck it up. Clark, the rebound. Virginia's trying to play fast. Hurd from deep, too strong. Nash going back quickly. It's up and down the floor we go, 13-2, just under 5 minutes to go now in the first quarter. Last year, Virginia, the first winning season under Coach Motts. Gabrielle Johnson stopped. Good defense from the Cavaliers, stolen away, Morgan State. And Amanze gets called with the foul. It'll send Majay Hayes to the line.
And she's the smallest to create contact to go to the free throw line.
Hayes steps up to the line out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Came from Virginia State following her head coach. Gets the first one to roll, and ACC championship season rolls on, and on ACC Network in the all-new ESPN app. The Field Hockey Championship continues tomorrow with the semifinals beginning at 1 Eastern. The women's soccer semifinals are at Thursday at 5:30 and 8 Eastern, and the men's soccer quarterfinals start Sunday at 2. ACC Network is the home of ACC championships. 13-4. Virginia protecting a 9-point lead. Driving to the right, Gabby White in her freshman season, getting her first experience of college hoops. Kissing the glass is Johnson.
Johnson, she saw that the baseline was wide open due to the fact that she was being overplayed heavily on her right hand, able to take a straight line drive to the left.
Nash to left hand, can't get the underneath, and right now Morgan State just not able to get anything going on the offensive end of the floor, Ty.
Well, it seems as though they're trying to force a lot up over the height of Virginia, and they're going to have to find a great shot diet when it comes to outside shots and then trying to work it on the inside, but they don't really have the height advantage in this situation.
So they'll kick it outside here. Gabrielle Johnson, 25 games played last year. Bogans tosses it up, a little short on the three. Rebound grabbed down by Caitlin Weimer as we see her for the first time this year. Long pass knocked out, Virginia ball.
I will say Morgan State has done a great job of sending people back. It hasn't been necessarily all early shots for Virginia. They've had to get into their offense, but now they just need a little bit more disruption when it comes to cutting off second and third options within UVA's offense.
White from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. There's a foul off ball as Weimer gets pulled down. It's going to be assessed to Success Prysock. Prysock with her first personal as Weimer gets to head to the line. Came from NC State, but did not play last year. For that, at Boston University, where she was Patriot League Player of the Year, hits the first.
She's also a two-time Defensive Player of the Year in the Patriot League as well, and so she brings size with her here. You already see her capabilities of being able to run the floor and take up space, and the numbers at Boston were absolutely incredible. Nearly averaged a double-double while shooting 55% from the field.
Amanze with a very tough rebound, but Morgan State gets hands on it, jump ball. So the Bears have it at the end line.
And that's great effort by both teams, right? Going at it and trying to hold it down. Now, it did get a little chippy. The refs did a great job of separating and coming up in there. And I feel like that's like a good old-fashioned street ball. I'm not letting go of this basketball first. You're kind of going to have to rip it out of my hands. That's the way that it's supposed to go in this competitive sport.
Seeing the fire from Tabitha Amanze, the transfer from Princeton, originally from Nigeria, as Morgan State turns the ball over. Right now, 5 turnovers for Morgan State. White for Johnson. Johnson in the paint, too short, put back, gets her own.
And she had to smile a little bit after that one, seeing that nobody had blocked her out. It was easy for her to just get her own rebound on that possession, go straight back up with it.
She'll take the easy bucket. Here's Bannerman. Preseason All-MEAC first team, now Hayes. Averaged 9 points per game last year. Intercepted, White hit it. Clark running. Floater, no good. Weimer gets blocked, there's the foul call.
If you're Paris Clark, she's had 2 easy bunnies in transition that she has missed in the early going of this game. But taking another look at the putback by Kymora, she was able to put her head down, switch to the right hand on the drive, and able to just elevate for the fly-in, put back smile on her face. She's having so much fun, already up to 11 points and 5 for 7 from the field.
She was ready to get going here in 2025-26. Already 11 points, as you just said. 18-4, Virginia leads. First one missed there for Weimer as she's right back at the line. And Kymora Johnson leads Morgan State on her own as well, 11-4.
Yeah, I mean, she's just been super active with the basketball in her hands, something that everybody knows she can do, right? That's what she is, a scorer. But it has been from the very tip of this game where she's been looking to shoot the ball and get into the lane as well. So outside shots and inside.
Nash, pull up, that's good. That ends a over 5.5-minute drought for Morgan State, shooting from the field. Johnson breaks the press with White alongside her. As ranked number 94 in the ESPN rankings for women's basketball recruits. Clark has the three. No good. Amanze poked out. Johnson from the corner. Clark getting the board up. Doesn't get the bucket, but 2 chances at the line coming up.
Well, that's the way to stay with it if you're Paris Clark. She's overall go in the hoop that way. Last season, she shot 71% from the stripe.
And last season, I believe she wasn't fully healthy, and talking to Coach Mox about that, says she's playing the best basketball she's ever seen her play coming into this year.
Yeah, spoke so highly of her and for being a leader for this team, and that is what is expected of Clark this year.
Johnson and Clark, the 2 captains. Clark checks out as Levy coming in. Already 2 points for her, the transfer from USF and former American Newcomer of the Year.
And she's just 6 points away from reaching 1,000 career points, so it could be a special night for Levy in her UVA debut.
Talk about a special night. Debut for a new school and possibly get 1,000 points. We'll see if she gets to that 8 mark. Bannerman couldn't get to the hoop, well defended by White. Now she's got to get away from the trouble. Johnson's there to help Weimer.
Oh, you better step up.
Amanze, too strong. Levy with the rebound. Amanze up and in.
So I'm a little shocked right there on the initial that Kymora didn't pull the 3. It was nobody in sight, but looking to get her teammates involved.
Under a minute left to go in the first quarter. Johnson gets the pass. White. Levy for 3. Can't get it, bounces out off the end line. And they're saying Virginia ball. Seeing that new front court in action.
Yeah, Levy to Amanze right there, just dipping it from low into the paint for the layup. But within this, and that was actually Ring on the layup, and another player that coach has spoken so highly about. Adang Ring had 17 points in their exhibition game, the sophomore.
Got another returner underneath Amanze. Great drawn up play from Virginia. That was Ring there. Stolen. White lays it in. 27-6 Virginia up.
That was just great anticipation by White to blow through and come up with the steal in the leg.
Hayes blisters to the basket, 2 points. Makes it 8 now for Morgan State. No good there from White, but as we end the first quarter, it has been all a very deep bag, and she gets a well-earned rest after 11 points and 2 boards, shooting efficient from the field, and the freshman flies for 2 points.
I like what we've seen out of White so far in her time on the floor. She's only played 5 minutes, but in those 5 minutes, she has shown speed, she's shown quickness, and an ability to get downhill to the cup.
2025 McDonald's All-American nominee, as she has the ball in her hands once again, stripped away. Manze takes the long 2, bounces out. Ring grabs the rebound, it bounces off Levy and out of bounds.
And Ring, she has to be strong with the basketball off the rebound. Yes, she kept it up high, but there wasn't a level of patience when she was trying to kick it out.
We've talked a lot about front court right now. Levy out there at 6'3", Ring at 6'5", and then Amanze at 6'4".
This is a big lineup.
A lot of length now out for Virginia. Brenneman. A deep three, short. Levy. Has 5 rebounds, leading the way for the Cavaliers. Ring in for Levy, but draws the foul first.
And I love that connection that they had going on there. Ring, first of all, was able to face up. Levy with the face cut over top of her defender to draw the foul.
The Virginia ball at the baseline. Levy gets it. Had some open space. McGee. Ring from deep. Put back. Levy gets 2. That's 4.
And Levy, she seems like she's going to be the player for Virginia that's in the right place at the right time.
Seems to be now 6 rebounds. Gutierrez on the floor for the first time. A long one from Bannerman pops up. Ring with the rebound. Domination on the boards right now. 21-7 favoring the Hoos. Ring floats over the top. Rebound grabbed it by Prysock from Palmdale, California. Went to Moore Park College before this. Foul drawn. Maya Woodson on the shot.
And Ring, she was never straight up and down on that one. Broke her plane of verticality. Woodson had awareness of that.
For Woodson.
So I guess my question is, was it not assessed to Ring?
It is Ring. They had it in there for a second as Levy. Now it's Ring getting her first foul as we look at Nadine Domond. First season as Morgan State head coach. First game as Morgan State head coach. Missing was Woodson. Going back, Gutierrez. High arcing shot. Monze with the rebound. Johnson moving.
In Morgan State, they have really been limited to one and done, and Levy passing it down low, but nothing comes of that layup for Amanze, but able to power that one back up.
How about that front court right now? Levy and Amanze looking really good. A lot of chemistry there.
Yeah, they seem to be looking for one another when it comes to driving and dishing the basketball. Levy, she's done a great job of keeping her head up and knowing that Amanze has been a target with her hands ready to catch.
Levy doing a lot of things well right now. Amanze coming from Princeton, Levy from South Florida. Coach Mox emphasizing the size in the front court, but also saying that it takes a specific type of person to be a part of the Virginia program.
Well, not only person, as we see a triple go up there, not able to fall, but Levy, as we continue to call on her name, gets another putback for UVA. But Coach Mox also said that she wants versatile players in her program. I think that's been on display here in the first half.
Johnson steps up, takes a 3, gets it right back. Hurd with the offensive board. 12 offensive rebounds for Virginia, and Johnson's gonna have that all day.
And that was just a one-on-one matchup right there for Johnson, calling her own number on the reset. On the sidelines, Coach Mox, she saw that Johnson was looking at Levy on the post-up, but instead wanted to run that isolation play. Only takes a crossover and 2 dribbles for her to explode to the basket and score.
6-0 run for Virginia over the last minute. Clark is going to check in. We'll see another returner and Olivia McGee switch out. Johnson, they were missing. She's a little long on that one. Cross court, up and in for Bannerman.
And Bannerman, though she's named to the preseason MEAC first team, a little odd to me that she came off the bench in today's game. So perhaps she's one of those players who is going to be looked upon as a spark in a sense, and you want her to come off and be ready to score.
Monze has another jump ball. This one, the arrow in favor of Morgan State. There's Jayla Bannerman, all MEAC preseason first team. She's got 2 points. Pull up, swatted by Clark. Johnson taking the shot for Morgan State. Levy, she's got 6 points. She is 2 away from 1,000, but it's Johnson with the 3. Nothing but net.
And a much-needed 3. If we had to nitpick an area where we want to see Virginia come alive, it would be from beyond the arc. Up into that point, the Cavaliers were 1 for 10 from deep. That puts Kymora up to 16 points.
Here's a 3 on the other end, no good. Kymora Johnson is the only player that's hit a 3 in this game. Brought down was Hurd.
And Kymora able to just set up with the back screen on the wing. An incredible three-point shooter, especially when she's left that wide open, has the time to have her feet set to see it through.
Here's Paris Clark. Inside, off the glass and in, there's 2. 42-11, Virginia dominant. 5 minutes left to go in the second quarter.
And Paris Clark, she's from the Bronx. She's used to taking some hits when you're going to the basket and having to play physical and through contact. We saw that on the last play. And then she gets the deflection to go out of bounds. Double-double in the first half. We still have a long ways to go in this game.
Rides the end line for a second there, but finally goes out. We'll just switch sides. Morgan State will still have the inbound from that spot on the other side. In the corner, Hayes. Johnson now. Gives it right back. Led team last year with 95 assists, but there's a turnover. That is the 11th for Morgan State in this game.
And it's tough to put points on the board when you've been playing more defense than offense, just due to the fact that Morgan State hasn't had an assertiveness to take care of the ball.
Here's Clark, as there's a foul off ball, saying extending the arm there. It's Levy who's gonna get the call. Right now, Virginia shooting just under 50%, 47. The number right now. We're under halfway through the second quarter. Trying to find offense are the Bears. Hayes has 4 points. Clock at 5, stolen, Clark. Down Johnson, and 1.
And that's easy. 2-woman game, we'll call it, in transition from Clark being able to find Johnson on the pass back. 18 points for her, and it started with Clark able to get her hands in the cookie jar, push it all the way up the floor with the left bounce pass. Easy enough. That looked like the 3-man weave that you practice.
There's a reason you practice it.
And chest bumps all around.
She had the 2, but the contact on the arm, the finish, 3-point play there for Johnson. First of the year.
An extremely unselfish basketball play by Paris Clark for the dump-off pass. And to think Johnson has already surpassed last year's season average in the first half of this game with 19 points.
Going down hard there is Jayla Bannerman. A 14-2 run over the last nearly 4 minutes of the game. More Daly, turnaround, in.
That was a beautiful one-on-one possession where she put her head down, was confident in it, got to her spin move, and faded away just enough so Levy couldn't get in there.
Johnson had the space. She'll take it all day. Levy inside Amanze in the paint. And it's going to be an offensive foul against Amanze.
And Nash was able to step over and hold her ground and positioning as Amanze was a little out of control in the paint on her drive.
Coming in Caitlin Weimer will replace Tabitha Amanze. Weimer, they're hoping, will get back to where she was back in 2023-24. Patriot League Defensive Player of the Year and Player of the Year.
In other words, she was also known as a proven double-double, and that would be lethal to what UVA has going on here if that carries over.
Levy almost had the steal. Whistle on the play. Officials are gonna it'll be Morgan State ball. Coming to take the inbound, Tiana James. Played at Montgomery College and Virginia State. Bannerman gets it back. Shot clock winding down, decides not to take a shot, and frustrated, not seeing an open space.
Well, I'd be frustrated too if I ran into a brick wall right there like Weimer. The way that she just had no opening or parting as she was on her drive to the basket, and the spacing wasn't great either.
Here's Johnson. White. Goes to the left. Weimer gets fouled, and Nash will get the call. But for Morgan State, it's been very frustrating offensively.
Well, just due to the fact that UVA has had such discipline on defense to step over and not allow for any easy possessions for Morgan.
No good there, White. Weimer puts it back up for two. "13 turnovers right now for the Bears. Daly, movement, Bannerman, and over James. Shot, Woodson, no good. Bounces around, Clark gets fouled. Hitting on the arm there was Nash.
Very handsy, so we're gonna walk this one down the floor. 11 team fouls for Morgan State.
So Clark will head to the line in bonus territory.
Actually make that 12 fouls, so.
Clark 2 for 2 at the line. Here's our Week 11 ACC Network Saturday football lineup at noon Eastern. SMU takes on BC. Then we'll have a command center presentation of Syracuse and number 18 Miami. And finally, it's Florida State and Clemson at 7 Eastern, with both teams looking for wins to get bowl eligible. All three games are also available on the all-new ESPN app. A lot of action around the ACC. Fall sports are into tournament time, and basketball season is back. 49-13, Virginia leading. Daly, pull up Jay. Rebound, put back Nash, gets fouled. 2 shots for Morgan State now, just their 3rd time heading to the line.
And that was a strong rebound by Nash. Just great timing to beat Weimer on the rise to pull that one in.
See Nash, who did not play her senior year, came from Alabama A&M, active there 1 year, then holding off in her senior season. For that at Central State University, where she played at the D2 level. That one's good on the first shot. That one's in as well. We'll see Ring come back in. Dang Ring, sophomore from Australia. And Levy will head out. Very productive first half for her. 6 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists. Foul on James. She gets the hands in the cookie jar on Clark. Too much contact, though.
And Morgan State, they have put on their 2-2-1 press there. And the 2-2-1 press is meant to be aggressive and slow you down, but you also have to know situationally where you're at. And already as a team with the 13 fouls, you got to show your hands and be active, but also not foul.
Clark at the line again tonight. She's been very effective, 6 for 6. 8 points for her. Seeing Hyeni Dos Santos in. There's a block for Virginia. White in transition. Clark up and in. 53-15. Clark's in double figures with 10. No good on the 3 from Morgan State. They are 0 for 10 from deep in this game. White couldn't find any help, taken away. Got under a minute to go in the first half. Tiana James, the grad student from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Prysock trying to get a pass off. Up and in on the other end as Bogans, former all-rookie MEAC player.
Morgan State in their 2-3 zone as the shot clock is turned off. We'll see what type of decision is made here by UVA to go into the half.
White holding it. Here's Clark, 2 seconds. Ran out of time. Dos Santos gets it, but shot is not good. First half done, and Virginia tie looking great to start.
Absolutely, it's been a dominant first half for the Cavaliers.
So exciting times for the front court for the Cavaliers. Back underway in the second half. Johnson already a corner 3. How about that? Over 20.
You have to have awareness of where she is on the floor at all times. That was a quick hitter off the inbounds to just get her going, or keep her going, rather.
She's got 22. Who's shooting 50%? Clark underneath. 2 more. Add them on.
And what a way for Johnson to thread the needle to find Clark on the cut and transition. And that's where the dimensions of her game come into play. Keeping her eyes up, she's also able to be a willing and able passer.
11 team assists for Virginia. Johnson on the crossover has Hayes now. Nash is taking a couple deep threes. This time it's going to be James going to the left hand. Shot clock winding down, a foul, and can't get the bucket. Nash will have to head to the line, and Johnson getting started quick, already 2 buckets.
Able to go from the right side of the floor to the left, knocking down the 3, and then coming down here in transition. The vision is on key, dishing it off to Paris Clark on the cut.
Often a part of everything in this Virginia offense. She was last year. 2 shots from Nash. First one goes in. 2 years ago, Nash became the D2 record holder for blocked shots in a season. She had 75. It's the second as well. Substitution coming in. Nash will check out. Coming in, Success Prysock. Johnson's got 22. Clark, the only other Cavalier in double figures with 12. Monze couldn't corral the pass. Turnover, Virginia.
And a little miscommunication, it seemed, from both. And then with Johnson, I think something that her teammates will have to get used to is, right, they're accustomed to her shooting the basketball and it going up. And so maybe on that play, Amanze thought that, and that's why she wasn't ready to catch.
Levy swats it, adding another stat to the all-around game. Levy for 3, doesn't go. Clark, hard-fought rebound, back with Johnson. Clark again. Brown from deep, Out, Levy pursuing the offensive rebound. That's back-to-back, but taken away. Hayes picking off the pass. Gets the bucket.
What a bucket by Myjai Hayes, standing at just 5'4", was able to create and transition.
Here's Brown, didn't play all last season. One of 5 returners, but only 4 saw the floor. Johnson, long 3, no good. Levy, put back, that's 1,000. 8 points for Romi Levy, and 1,000 in the career.
I was about to say, I don't know if that smile's on her face. Now she definitely knows. The arena is going crazy with Levy's graphic up on the Jumbotron, showing that she got her 1,000th career point in her debut here at University of Virginia.
Given up there by Prysock. Last touched by the Cavaliers. Got to get another look at .1000.
And the journey started for her at Auburn, then to USF, now to here. The team is super stoked and excited for her, and this accomplishment of 1,000 career points is not something that every player has the luxury of doing during their college career. So congratulations to Levy.
Long pass from Johnson. Clark does eventually notice. Got to wait for Johnson to get over half court. Here's Clark from deep. Going quick, knockdown.
And finally, somebody not named Kymora Johnson able to hit nylon and answer with the 3-pointer for Virginia. That's where they have struggled. And the first made triple of the game for Morgan State is finally able to go down. Levy hit her 1,000 point a couple possessions ago, and so we've seen that they've been an integral part of what's going on here in the building and continuing to add on to the culture for Coach Mox.
We just got a shot of her looking up. She was looking up at her 1,000th point. Finally seeing the replay. Ring now in for Virginia, so is Weimer on the inside. Clark bobbling, stolen away. James. Hayes has to go back to get it. Popped up, rolls the rim.
It doesn't get any easier than that basket right there. And Morgan State, they have done a better job making adjustments in the second half. They're playing a 2-3 zone where they are bumping. They're being active, moving on the fly to the ball, except for right there, a wide open 3, not able to go down by White. But unfortunately for Morgan State, she tracks down her own rebound.
Offensive rebounds have killed Morgan State. 19-5 in favor of Virginia, but a steal. Was Hedquist with it, now on the other end, poked away. Gabrielle Johnson losing it. And Morgan State will keep.
And that's back-to-back turnovers for UVA, and where the game got out of hand in the first half, what we're seeing here is that UVA has only outscored Morgan State by 3 in the third quarter. It's 10-7 right now.
Morgan State playing much better to start the second half. The first quarter was a 27-8 split for the Cavaliers. Too high on the pass was intended for Hedquist, but she wasn't ready. Couple subs. So McGee will check back in. Nadine Domond, first game as the head coach of Morgan State, had a great career coaching Virginia State, but started out at Hampton as a grad assistant. Both these coaches starting their coaching careers in Virginia. Coach Mox at VCU, long one McGee, no good. Hedquist grabs the board. Johnson goes coast to coast. White, well defended. Taken away.
It's been extremely sloppy for the Cavaliers in the half court these last few possessions down.
Hayes can't go end to end. Picked up by Dos Santos, who checked in just moments ago. White running things. Here she is again.
There's a look of frustration on Coach Mox's face right now, as though they're not getting the looks in which she had intended for. And though an easy putback right there, it seems as though there has been a lack in execution in the half court, particularly facing against this Morgan State zone.
Right now, she's looking at Clark and Amanze to check in at the next opportunity.
I think that's Johnson over there.
It's Johnson there as well. Or excuse me, Johnson is there. Saw the one. Floater. Weimer with the rebound. McGee will try again from the same spot. Can't get it from the break. Weimer unable to rip it from Kaylin Nash. Fifth-year senior. James. Now Gabrielle Johnson, preseason All-MEAC third team. Hedquist, a senior from Dallas, Texas. Bannerman. Moves it, Nash. Nash quick. Blocked. Coming back, Hurd swats it.
And worked as the conference favorite in the annual predicted order of finish. And the Cavaliers were picked to finish 7th, marking the program's highest position in the poll since it was picked 6th in 2017. So this is a good feeling for them to know that at this point, they'll have a little bit of a target on their back.
Looking at the all-ACC team, Hannah Hidalgo, preseason player of the year, but Kymora Johnson getting selected amongst some of the great names. Toby Fournier, fantastic freshman last year. Zoe Brooks, name that needs no introduction in ACC women's hoops. Long ball, Bogans has to kick it out. 3, Bannerman can't get it. Nash, put back, blocked. Amanze got the hands up. Johnson back on the floor, going quick. McGee, the 3.
And what a quick release by McGee. We saw her strutting her stuff at shoot-around today when she made the half-court shot. That was a little bit of a reflection of what we got to see earlier in the game. She was 1 for 4 from 3 or 1 for 3 up into that point. And man, the way she was able to knock that down was so pure.
Long ball this time, and Morgan State came out in the second half, and now they're raining threes.
Yeah, it seems as though they found a new level of confidence. They've been able to settle in, taking good shots and finding some success with connecting on them.
They're 3 of 4 from behind the arc right now in the third quarter. Here's Hurd. Amanze all alone, but an offensive foul.
And a way to step up, keep your ground and positioning. That was Hedquist who stepped up and took that offensive foul, and that was just key for her. And Coach D, she calls her a leader for the Morgan State team, says she's the auntie and the grandma in a sense, but always picks the team up when they're down. And the way that she was able to put her body on the line, you can see what that is for her and looks like.
Coach Domond did say that this team is under construction. She's in her first season as the head coach of the Bears, but trying to build their culture, which standards over feelings, and trying to be as consistent as they can.
And I loved another quote of what she said, although she was hired as the head coach. She said her team picked her and believes in me. And that's a testament to who Coach is as a player, but also giving her team kind of the glory there.
Well, also was quite the player herself as well. Got drafted in the second round of the WNBA draft by the New York Liberty back in 1998. Hedquist. Guarded by Amanze. Nash goes back in, blocked once again by Hurd.
And now she's not used to being on the recipient end of having her shot blocked, seeing that she was such a prolific shot blocker 2 seasons ago at the D2 level.
That is her second blocked shot. 12 seconds on the clock, but 5 on the shot clock. Amanze now rejecting. See that number right there, 10 blocks for Virginia. Baseline play, no good for Morgan State. 5 seconds on the clock. Here's Johnson. Before the buzzer, she's blocked. Nope, it's a foul.
What a sense of urgency by Johnson to keep the ball for herself, first of all, and take it straight down to
the start 5 times. But Johnson at the line. She had only taken 1. That's her second. 2 for 2 now. She had the 1 free throw off an and 1. 3 for 3 on the night. 0.2 seconds, they'll pass it in and get on out. Another 10 minutes gone here in Charlottesville.
Who was the Dawn Staley of her time, where she grew up in an era of the Debbie Ryans, the C. Vivian Stringers, and Pat Summits. And we see the prolific list of accolades from Coach C. Vivian Stringer and what she was able to do. Inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame in 2009, along with a long list of career accolades.
The first women's coach to reach 1,000 wins, an amazing career, and now Nadine Domond bringing everything she learned into the coaching range. She did it at Hampton, Virginia State, all her stops, and now with Morgan State, and ended up heading on to the WNBA and was a silver medalist with the USA national team. Jump ball called.
And you see some grit and some fight from Morgan State, particularly in the second half. And I think that's an extension of coaching who she is and exactly what she wanted to see from this team. Though the score is out of hand, are you still going to continue to fight when your back is against the wall?
And you look at Morgan State's schedule. They start out with Virginia, but they also see Wake Forest, University of Kentucky, LSU, UCF. There's a lot of big names there, so definitely a team and a coach that does not shy away.
After review, the ruling on the floor stands. It's an offensive foul against White 7, because when the illegal contact occurred, the shooter was not in the act of shooting. No 3-point field goal for Virginia.
You're going straight to that. I don't need to talk.
After review, the ruling on the floor stands. It's an offensive foul against White 7, because when the illegal contact occurred, the shooter was not in the act of shooting. No 3-point field goal for Virginia.
So the 3 is not good, but the foul stands. Here's another look.
Well, after further assessment, that's the right call. You see, as the ball is leaving Kymora Johnson's hand, ref is on the baseline. His fist is already up, whistling for the offensive foul on Amanze. And so in the act of shooting, the ball is in flight. It's 11 seconds left on the shot clock. He's already in his motion, showing that the ball is going to be going the other way with the offensive foul.
So it goes with Morgan State. It's Tabitha Amanze who's called on the foul off ball. Nearly lost, but picked up again by Bannerman, James. Actually, that's Bogans, excuse me. Hedquist is on the bench. Maya Woodson in now, give and go. Bannerman steps inside for a long 2, that's pure.
What a great possession by Morgan State. They didn't rush, able to get a paint touch and a kick out earlier in the first half. I believe Hayes would have tried to shoot that ball and got it blocked going up into the trees, but she found a seam of opportunity to find her shooter on the wing.
McGee doesn't get it on the 3. Dos Santos with a good rebound. Virginia's been great on the offensive glass today. Slinging it around, Hurd draws a foul underneath the basket.
And if you're Bannerman, you got to be ready to bump the cutter, and that's how Hurd was able to get delivered with the ball on her way into the basket. When you're not seeing ball and man and bumping cutters, that's exactly what's going to happen.
So Hurd at the line, coming from Waynesville, Missouri. Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, the ACC Huddle crew will be here in Charlottesville to get you ready for another full day of football. 2-hour pregame show. They'll have game previews along with expert analysis and featured stories. That's all here on ACC Network and the all-new ESPN app. Virginia seeming like the place to be here in the fall for ACC championship season. Right now, it's the Cavaliers up big, 75-32, fourth quarter here in Charlottesville. Across to Kiera Carter here with you. Monze gets the block. Kymora Johnson, 24 points for her, slows things up. McGee gives it right back. Clark, she's already got one, bounces, Hurd pursuing. 22 offensive boards in this game for Virginia. Johnson, long ball. This time it's Morgan State grabbing the board.
And Bannerman, she had a chance to shoot the pull-up jumper and wish she just hit on the left side of the floor, but opting to get Morgan State into their offense and running.
In and out. Johnson gets a rebound. 4 on the night for her. McGee, Amanze, long one, had plenty of time, can't get it.
That's a good look in the short corner for her.
Virginia shooting well, 46% from the floor, 23% for Morgan State, but much improved here in the second half. The pull-up, too shy from Bogans on that. McGee the other end, there's 2.
And going back into what I would say is not the greatest practice or habit for Morgan State, they've been one and done on the last 2 possessions, that time resulting in Virginia being able to get out and run. And so you can almost look at that as a shot turnover. Does it go in the stat book as such? No. But when you look at not being able to run your offense in the proper way, that's exactly what it is.
Sent up, no good. Morgan State starting to go cold once again. Clark with 15. Johnson, quick touches around Amanze. Over the front, gets a good touch.
And a strong move for Amanze with her back to the basket, using her size to possess dominance on the interior.
Virginia showing what they've added in the front court, seeing a lot of action inside.
Yeah, the production has been very, very strong when it comes to getting it in down low and just allowing the bigs to turn and go to work.
Johnson playing quick, too high off the fingertips for McGee, and dives to the teammates, had to come back out. Dos Santos nearly takes it away. Scrappy from Virginia. White gets on the floor and a jump ball.
What an effort, and both teams was on the floor on that possession, tying it up, but the Bears are going to retain the possession.
They get it back. 6-0 run for Virginia over the last 3 minutes. Clark on the kickball. Morgan State 0 for their last 5 shots from the field. They're 3 of 6 from behind the arc in the second half, though. Tiana James handed off for Bogans. James again takes the 3. Good closeout from Dos Santos, but not enough.
Excellent shot, and good things have happened for Morgan State when they've been able to get a ball reversal. And so within the ball, just not staying stuck on one side of the floor. The movement was excellent.
No players in double figures yet for Morgan State. The pull up from the freshman, good, White. 6 points.
She was able to just find some room on the baseline, stop on the dime, and rise straight up to score.
So Ty, with the Cavaliers up very big, the first game of the season, what have you liked from the new look Cavaliers in 25-26?
I definitely like the activity on the defensive end of the floor, first and foremost, with the way that they have had an effort to block shots, to be big down low. They have 12 blocks in this game alone. So first things first, I would just say effort on defense. And then on offense, it's been an unselfish brand of basketball where we've seen a little bit of everybody get a touch. Yes, Johnson has 24 points. I think that goes without saying as far as how great of a basketball player she is. We've already hit on that a ton. But everybody else who has had a chance to get their hands on the ball, they have gotten decent looks within the offense.
They're spreading the ball well. James takes a long one. 16 assists for Virginia in this game. They have spread the love, and even though 2 double-digit scorers, White's got 6, Amanze's got 8. We saw Levy get her 1,000th point with her 8th point as well, so definitely spreading the love.
Everybody who has checked in has scored except for one player. So I think that says a lot about what could be for this squad as far as just having multiple people being able to fill in the stat sheet.
Clark from the corner. Too short. Hurd, the rebound, bounces out. Touched the Cavaliers last. Hurd last to touch it. And Morgan State, after opening their season here in Charlottesville, they do head home to Hill Fieldhouse, up to Baltimore, Maryland, to take on Stetson University on Sunday. Hedquist tried to go over the top of Ring, using that reach, taken away a lot. White out, Dos Santos, Ring again. Dos Santos decides not to take it. Ring, skip pass, White drives. Can't get the bucket to go. Hedquist the rebound.
Dos Santos should have took the first shot that she had. She was wide open on the 3. I understand, I guess, trying to execute there, but that's a wide open shot for her. Good practice, should have knocked it down.
Hesitated for a moment. James intercepted Clark. Takes it herself. Floater over the top, doesn't go. James continuing to be the primary ball carrier. 3 points, 1 of 7 from the field. Gutierrez back in. Woodson. Daly to James at the top. Gutierrez. Gets a jump. Jay doesn't go. Offensive board for Daly. And a foul. Hard one.
Yeah, she got absolutely clobbered on that offensive rebounds. Checking her out right now. Hopefully she's okay. She's holding her neck and her head a little bit, and the whole team surrounding her able to help her up. And you see lost her footing, and then at the same time as she was heading on the way down, Gabby White knocked her right upside the head.
So that is Kymora Daly, who will head to the line. But talking about Gabby White, you said that's a big collision. Doesn't seem to be playing like a freshman, at least in her opening game.
No, by no means. She has a power and size to her with the way that she has been dribbling the basketball with authority, and I think she's done a good job in commanding the rock in the offense. She only has 1 turnover in 18 minutes, and I think that's super notable as a freshman in their debut. The fact that she's really taking care of the basketball and getting Virginia into their sets.
Great passing for Virginia. 83-36. Last time these two teams saw each other was 2022. It was 84-28. Goes out of bounds, and checking out Woodson Coming in, Caitlin Nash. (10-6) split. Favor of the Hoos in the fourth quarter. Gutierrez against Clark. Takes it away, but a foul as Gutierrez reaches in. Clark has been very good today. That is her third steal that she's grabbed against Morgan State.
Yeah, she's just been pressing up on defense and knowing and seeing when she can just be a little extra aggressive and getting her hands in there to get the ball.
.90 seconds to go. Hurd kicks it out. Here's Gabby White. Can't get it. Gets the rim ricochet there.
And Paris, she's still the lone starter out there on the floor after she has had a game with 15 points, 6 for 6 from the free throw line, and her 3 steals. And DeSanto, she comes up with a steal right there of her own. And perhaps Coach One wants to continue to.
In that moment you just mentioned, but Clark, 3 steals, trying to make up for it. This whole Virginia team has been very good defensively. Under a minute now to go. Rebounding 56-26. White, no good. Second try, too strong. James through midway. Like I said earlier, Morgan State will see Stetson their next time out. Cavaliers take on Bucknell next, staying here at JPJ. And there still is a second difference between the game clock and the shot clock, so Virginia will have to shoot it or take the violation.
I think they're going to take the violation here. Oh, no. Coach is saying, shoot it, P. She said, shoot it, P.
And she did. They gave it right back to her. Drains the 3. That's 18 points for Clark, and that'll be the ball game. 86-36. Virginia coming off a winning season last year, trying to build on it. A good start.
Yes, this was a good start and showing for the